In the heart of Munich, on a quiet street filled with the hum of daily life, there was a small, unassuming shop that had seen more than its fair share of visitors. But one particular day, something extraordinary was about to unfold. It was a chilly autumn afternoon in 2015 when Lena stepped into the shop, her boots clacking on the wooden floor. She had just moved to Munich, full of hope but uncertain of her future. The shop, a cozy little place tucked away between two larger storefronts, sold old books, vintage trinkets, and the smell of fresh coffee filled the air. As Lena entered, her gaze swept across the room, and that's when she saw him, the shopkeeper, a middle-aged man with a kind face, slightly graying hair, and a steady presence behind the counter. Lena smiled politely and approached. "I'd like to look at the books, if that's okay," she said. The man nodded, his eyes lifting to meet hers, and with that simple exchange, the memory surged back to him. It was more than a decade ago, back in the early 2000s, when the streets of Munich were much quieter. A young boy, no older than 5, had wandered into his shop. His clothes were ragged, his cheeks stained with tears. The shopkeeper had never forgotten that day. He'd seen the boy in need, hungry and cold. Without hesitation, he'd given him a warm sandwich and a drink. The boy had smiled, thanked him softly, and disappeared into the streets, never to be seen again. But now, as Lena browsed the shelves, something about her presence stirred a deep, forgotten memory in the shopkeeper's heart. He watched her carefully, noting the familiar shape of her features, the slight tilt of her head, even the way she moved. A quiet moment passed between them before the tension in the air became undeniable. Lena finally turned to him and asked, "How long has this shop been here? It feels special." The shopkeeper hesitated for a heartbeat. "It's been here longer than I can remember." And then it hit him. The realization came like a sudden gust of wind. The child, Lena, the grown-up version of that small boy, was now standing in front of him. The years had passed, but the kindness he had shown that day had come full circle as fate had led her back to this very shop, this very moment. Emotion welled up in his chest. You were that boy, weren't you?" he asked, his voice trembling. Lena's eyes widened as she recognized the truth. The shopkeeper's kindness had shaped her life more than he could ever have known. In the quiet of the shop, the years between them melted away. She nodded slowly, a smile breaking across her face. "I never forgot what you did for me." And just like that, a simple act of kindness had bridged the gap between two souls, changing their lives forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help our channel grow.